We were talking about the units. So the unit for temperature. Now see, temperature is previously measured as hot and colder. So the basic unit for us for the temperature is hot and cold only. So it is one of the basic physical quantity of thermodynamics. Student, remember, temperature is the unit, or you can say the quantity of thermodynamics. It is the numerical representation of the status of substance with reference to how cold or how hot it could be. Generally, we use the three unit of measuring the temperature. First is the Celsius scale. This is one of the most common scale. So the most commonly used scale in the majority of the world. Why it is used? Because it is very simple to understand. And Celsius scale is abbreviated as degree Celsius. It is same as the old centigrade scale, and therefore has the 100 between the freezing point and boiling point of water is, means it is 0 to 100. 0 point, that means 0 degree Celsius is the freezing point, and 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point. So whatever comes between that, now our body also have the definite temperature. If the temperature is above the 37 degrees Celsius, we say that we have a fever. If it is less than that, we are telling that we caught the cold. So we are means making this use of the Celsius degree only. In India, usually we use this only, but there are other degrees also. The Celsius temperature scale was originally designed by the Anders Celsius, a Swedish astronomer. Student, it is something very astonishing that it was not designed by any scientist. It was designed by the astronomer, and you need to remember the name. It could be asked for the MCQ that Anders Celsius was the Swedish astronomer, and he has designed the original Celsius scale. But his scale was quite different. Means he started from the zero as the hot. Now we have the cold to hot, right? Means we consider 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point, and 100 degrees Celsius as the boiling point of the water. So we count whatever temperature is there between 0 to 100, but his original Celsius scale, which was made by the Anders Celsius, he made it 0 degrees Celsius as the boiling point and 100 degrees Celsius as the freezing point of water. Completely ulta what we know today. So then this is also very important to remember that J.P. Christian has revised the scale. Many times it is asked who has revised the Celsius scale. So he was the J.P. Christian who revised the scale to the present form. Means 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point and 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of the water. So the point which we need to remember is 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point and 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point, and this form was revised by the J.P. Christian. The next scale, it is also a very common scale, that is the Fahrenheit scale. Fahrenheit scale is the temperature scale in which the it is means between two reference temperature, freezing and the boiling point. It is divided into 180. Now see how much difference is there? 80. So the freezing point will be taken as 32 degree Fahrenheit and boiling point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So between 180 it is. Now who has designed it? See, what we need to remember about the scale, we need to remember the scale freezing point and boiling point. We need to remember of the scientist or the person who has discovered it, and the conversion formula. Conversion formula with respect to the Celsius, because as now I told you that Celsius scale is one of the most important and widely used scale. So whatever other scales are there, if you are getting the temperature into that particular scale, how will you be able to convert into it, because this particular unit we are dealing with the measurement. So we want the most widely accepted form which we can use. So you must remember the formula also. So what things we are going to remember? We are going to remember the name of the scale. We are going to remember the name of the discoverer who has discovered it, then boiling point, freezing point, and how you can convert it to the Celsius. So who has discovered this particular unit? The scale Fahrenheit was established by the German Dutch physicist. He was Gabriel Daniel Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit scale was formerly used widely in the English speaking countries. Still, US also they are using this only. Nowadays it is the Celsius temperature scale which is used to understand. In United States, Fahrenheit scale is still common use. Formula for the conversion from degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius is, so whatever number is there, you have to minus it from 32, then multiply it by pi by 9. Okay, so this is the simple way you can convert it. Then Kelvin scale is the next scale which was given by the Kelvin. I'm sorry. So this is the temperature scale. The best part about Kelvin is it has the absolute zero value below which no temperature exists. This is one of the most important point or beauty of this scale, that zero Kelvin, below zero Kelvin there is no temperature exists. So zero Kelvin, or we can say the absolute zero, is the temperature at which the molecular energy is minimum, and zero after that, if you will convert it to the Celsius scale, so 0 Kelvin means 273.16 degrees Celsius is the temperature. At that particular time, the energy is zero. Hence, two reference temperature means the degree Kelvin is the same as the Celsius degree. So when we talk about the freezing point of the water, what is the freezing point of water into the degree Celsius? It is 0 degree Celsius, and boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. So when we convert it into the Kelvin temperature, it is Kelvin, a student, and the point to be remember, Kelvin, we avoid writing degree Kelvin. It is written only K, not degree Kelvin. So the 0 degree Celsius will be equal to 273.16 Kelvin. It is K. Okay. So that is the point which is called as the minimum molecular energy, or you can say is the freezing point. So that is the particular temperature we can consider. So 273 is the boiling point, sorry, is the freezing point, and 373 will be the boiling point respectively. So what we have to remember, we need to remember about the Kelvin is the same as the Celsius, only the thing is there is a difference of the 273.16. So 0 degrees Celsius is equals to 273.16 degrees Celsius, and the 100 degrees Celsius is equals to 373.16 degrees Celsius. So this is about the Kelvin scale, and we, while expressing the temperature into the Kelvin scale, we avoid the degree symbol. Why? Because the letter K is simply used. The temperature scale is named after the British mathematician and physicist William Thomas Kelvin, who proposed the formula for the conversion also, that is the degree Celsius plus 273.16 is equals to 1 Kelvin. So whatever degree Celsius value is there, you need to add 273.16 in that. So let us revise once again, one after another. I have kept Celsius into the middle. Why? Because it is the reference point for us, and it is the most widely used scale. So what we learned about the Celsius scale, that it is the most commonly used temperature scale, and it is very simple to understand, and it is abbreviated as degree Celsius. It is same as the old centigrade scale, therefore has 100 centigrade scale, no? That means 100 degree. So what is the freezing point? 0 degree Celsius, and the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. But we also learned that the originally it was designed by Anders Celsius, who was a Swedish astronomer. He has not designed the Celsius scale as we see in today's form. It was designed as 0 degrees Celsius as the boiling point and 100 degrees Celsius as the freezing point of the water. Then later on, J.P. Christian, he revised the scale to the present form. That means the 0 degrees Celsius is the boiling point. Sorry, 0 degrees Celsius is the freezing point, and 100 degrees Celsius as the boiling point of the water. The next scale on the left side is the Fahrenheit scale. It is the temperature scale in which the temperature difference between two reference temperature, that is freezing and boiling of water, is divided into 180. Means it is broad enough. In the Celsius scale, it was having only 100 degrees, right? So in Fahrenheit, the boiling point to the freezing point. So between these two, 180 degree was there. So 180 interval was called as degree Fahrenheit. I repeat, freezing and boiling point, two reference point, they were divided in 180 small intervals, and this was called as the uh, reference point or degree Fahrenheit. So the freezing point is taken as the 32. Here I have marked 32. Okay. So here 32 degree Fahrenheit water is freezing. Here 0 degree. So 32 to 212. So what is the difference between two? Is the 180 degree. So the scale was established by the German Dutch physicist, that is the Gabriel Daniel Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit scale was formerly used widely into the English speaking countries, but nowadays the English people, they are also using the Celsius temperature scale because it is very simple to understand. But still in United States they are using the Fahrenheit scale only. So we also learned the formula. Now Fahrenheit and Kelvin, we need to remember the formula to convert. So how we can convert? So Fahrenheit minus 32 means whatever degree Fahrenheit is there, minus 32 into 5 by 9 is equals to degree Celsius. This way we can convert. Then the last scale we learned was the Kelvin scale. So we know Kelvin scale has the beauty of giving the absolute zero value, means whatever zero we are getting due to the Kelvin scale only. So what we can convert the absolute zero into the degree Celsius. If we are going to convert, so it is going to be minus 273.16 degrees Celsius, and Fahrenheit little more, that is minus 459. So the best part of it is the Kelvin scale is the absolute scale. So below the 0 Kelvin, there is no temperature exist. And the another thing we all have learned, that 1 Kelvin means there is a difference of 273.16, means from here till water freezes. So there is a difference of the 273. So whenever we want to convert it into the Celsius, we need to add 273.16 into the temperature, means whatever degree Celsius we have. So we don't write degree symbol. Degree symbol is omitted in the Kelvin system because the temperature symbol was given by the British mathematician and physicist William Thomas Kelvin, and the formula for it is degree Celsius plus 273.16 Kelvin. Okay, so this is all about the temperature scale. We will learn the concentration. Now, in the concentration, we all are going to talk about the various chemical preparations which we required in our laboratory. So we will be talking about the percent solution, then we will also talk about the parts of the solution like parts per thousand, parts per million, parts per billion. So all this dilution, how can we prepare? Not only this, in the laboratory you might have seen the one normal, two normal, one molar, two molar, one molar, two molar. So how all this, first of all, we will understand the meaning of all such concentrations and how can we bring the concentration changes in our laboratory. We all will learn into the next lecture. So for this note, for this lecture, we'll stop for now. If you have any doubt, definitely you all can ask me.